So Stephanie White has talked a little bit about the Caitlin Clark injury, and some people are taking this as Stephanie White going out here and basically saying that Caitlin's out for a while, and I think it's more than likely that Caitlin's gonna be fine. Like, if I'm being honest here, my guess is that Caitlin is going to be fine. Let's take a listen to what Stephanie White is saying here.
I guess just first off, how is Caitlin after Wednesday, and do you have any update on her condition?
Yeah, she's okay. She's gonna be out on Saturday, but she's doing all right.
Do you have any indication right now of how long she will be out?
No indication. Obviously, it's a good time because we have all week next week, so we'll take this opportunity just to get her treatment, get her healthy, get her back on the floor, and see what happens. I mean, it's the same thing. Long-term health and wellness is the most important thing.
That, to me, sounds like precaution. Long-term health and wellness is the main thing. That sounds like it's precaution. And, look, Stewie missed a game yesterday because of rest. It happens. At the same time, at the end of the day, there is no timeline. There is no timeline, unfortunately, for Caitlin Clark's recovery. Why? Because they just don't want to give up any information. We'll know more in a week. And that is, unfortunately, where we're at. This is an organization that's going to be secretive. But, there is a big difference from, it's day to day. We'll see. She's getting scans. There's none of that. It is literally, we have a week. We have a week, and it's the perfect timing for this. This sounds everything like it is precaution. Long-term health. This sounds like, look, you're 60%, and let's be very real. Caitlin Clark wanted to go back into the game. She wanted to go back into the game, and then when she was pulled, she was like, oh, the adrenaline kind of went, and she had to leave. And she was playing and moving fine. The odds are that she's 60 to 70%, and they're like, well, we don't want to risk you playing at 60 to 70% because if your back is injured, if you're having issues with your quads, if you are having issues just with your body, and you're playing a little bit hurt, you're more likely to pick up an even worse issue. That's when the bad things happen, is when you're playing on a slight injury. And again, I can only speak of my own experience for these things. Bringing it back to myself, when I snapped my Achilles, I was playing on a calf. I was playing with a calf injury, and my calf didn't feel right, and I snapped my Achilles. I don't think it had anything to do with that, but I just think when your body's going, and I've always said it, it was I always felt at that time that something was going to go, and it just happened to be the worst possible thing in my Achilles. And that's the thing. If you're hurt, if you're not 100%, if you're just kind of waiting to try get back to 100% when you've had those injuries where it's just hard to come back from mentally. It's hard to play through muscle injuries, especially when you've had them, because she tried to play through them last year. I would be very confident if the playoffs was today that Caitlin would be playing. It's not like she went off when she played against the Connecticut Sun and you clearly see something went wrong, or against the Sparks when she tripped over her own feet and did a tumble. She was moving fine. She turned it over because she was given a grenade in the last possession before she got subbed off. I thought she looked good. I thought she looked really good. That being said, again, look, this is a big one. This is a really, really big one. If it turns out Caitlin's okay, and I think it's likely. Look, players take time off for rest all the time. Again, Stewie's literally doing it. Especially if you're a guard, it's tough to play every single game in the season. Paige Bueckers had a game off because ankle wasn't 100%. There's tremendous financial impact to the pounding Caitlin Clark is taking. She's now at Saturday's nationally televised game. from 3 seasons, have viewership of that game and it'd be half of what it was when she didn't play, which is hilarious. It's going to be half of, she's not wrong. It's going to be half of what it would have been without Caitlin Clark. But, I'm going to be real. It is half, but it's also double what any other team will get. And you've lost Kelsey Plum as well. Like, this is NECA versus... Like, this is literally NECA versus Aaliyah Boston. And, I mean, no offense, but like, I don't think people care about this game. I wonder... Like, there's no way, surely. There's no way that Indiana lose this game, right? But yeah, just with everything here. Actually, it sounds like precaution more than a serious injury. Assume she'll be back for the road trip after a 10-day break. She's doing okay. She's going to be out. Like, she's not at practice. She's doing okay is probably mentally. Like, we all know that the Fever didn't do a good job last year of communicating the injuries. Like, Scott Agnes was the one who had to report that Caitlin Clark has a ankle injury, that the Fever had to put out a PR statement saying, actually, no. The ankle injury is nothing. It's actually a groin injury, even though it turned out her groin had been fine for months. So we have to take into account that, like, Caitlin Clark missed a couple of weeks with that groin injury. As much as we want to say she was day-to-day and she was gone for the season, she was sprinting. She was getting ready to play. Like, it was her ankle that was fucked. Like, she was getting ready to play in the middle of August, 6 weeks before the season was gone, and she was about to play. So, look, it was a 3-week injury, that groin one. So yeah, I don't see her being like Stephanie White basically being like it's a good time. It's a good time for this. I think this is look, we're not going to risk you if you're not 100% because we have a week off and you're going to be fine by then. That's the way I'm seeing it. That's what I think is most likely, the most likely scenario. And if you guys agree, subscribe. Thank you guys so much for all the for getting us above 60k. Thank you so much. We're just trying to hit a number that we don't go ever below 60k again. Like, I'll be panicking till I hit 61k. But yeah. Anyway, what do you guys think? Look, and whatever you think is fine because I'm going to be very real. I'm going to be very, very real. At the end of the day, it is simply put a situation where if you don't believe a word Stephanie White says, I can't blame you. I don't blame you if you don't believe a word she says because she has lied so many times. So many times we have heard Stephanie White lie time and time again. And now we're just kind of hoping that this is the one time she's not undershooting an injury.